Hi ladies and gentlemen, thank you for looking at my station. This is me, Kalesi, and today I decided that I was going to do a video about the difference between the Anunnakis and the Neterus, because I had a couple of people ask me what's the difference, and I thought that this would be kind of a good video to go ahead and do some clarification. Now, the difference between the Neterus and the Anunnakis is the Neterus is a lot higher than the Anunnakis because they're more like the parent to the Anunnakis. So they're more from the Neterus go from the 7th to the 14th dimension, where the Anunnakis goes from the 4th to the 9th dimensions. The Neterus are kind of can be considered angels to the universe because they're very powerful and they can come in any form they like. Now they usually don't like to come down on this dimensions, but however, when they do come, they can take on planetoid form, humanoid forms, or even any type of forms that they choose. So they can even take on mythology forms. They can go ahead and shapeshift into any form they want because they kind of master physics. So what I mean by planetoid form is they can come in and instead of eating and breathing like a mammaloid, they can go ahead and depend on oxygen and water and photosynthesis of the sun to go ahead and survive. That's more of a lower form, but they're higher forms. They can actually embody the law of the physics of the universe, so such thing as gravity. So they can go ahead and take moons and position them in any way they want. They can go ahead and make certain type of gravitational pulls. They can pull planets together, and they can go rearrange planets, which obviously is very powerful. They can also make and create planets. Now, the higher ones do not really need ships to travel, so they don't really depend on technology, and therefore they can, do teleportations and make portals. They're very evolved when it comes to those types of things. Where the Anunnakis, in contrast, still need technology, so they still need ships to get to certain locations. And the thing about the Anunnakis is they actually interfered or interacted with the evolution of the planet. So where they kind of use the human species, or they made humans for their own agenda of evolution and whatnot. The Neterus didn't, because the Neterus, because they're a little bit higher and considered more evolved like angels, they kind of like to maintain neutral when it comes to lower dimensions. So although some Anunnakis do have powers of Neterus, when they come down to this physical dimensions, the Neterus usually take away those powers, saying, we will not give you our powers to interact on the lower physics. We'll take that away because we don't want you to abuse it. Now, this obviously has caused a lot of conflict, because a lot of times people wonder why the Anunnakis take on personify themselves as Neterus or Egyptian gods, and they did that for their own agenda. So a lot of times, the Anunnakis would pretend to be a different god, and that has caused a lot of confusion. But just like someone goes into a store and say that they're like a model or a producer when they're not. It's just the Anunnaki is just like most of the beings, even evolved beings. They all have egos and they all have agendas, so sometimes they do this. So the Anunnakis is a little bit more from the 4th to the 9th dimensions, a little bit lower in the evolution. They're still going through their evolution, therefore they still going through conflicts and trials and errors just like everyone else. So that's basically the difference between the Anunnakis and the Neterus. One's more like the parents, one's a little bit more like the children's, one's evolving, one has kind of reached the peak of evolvement or evolution. And that's basically it. So I hope I get some clarification, and I'll see you in my next video.